Hey, Adam, it's Dex.
Oh, okay. All right. So we've got some information. This is kind of special. I didn't know if we could get Raymond on. So I guess you're going to tell us the information that we got, right?
Absolutely. So we got a lot of great information from sources today, and I wanted to go over them with you.
U.S. suspends all flights to Venezuela. That includes cargo flights, anything. Now people are wondering, wait, so are we going to conflict with Venezuela, or are we going to conflict with Rylan? Or are we possibly preparing for a conflict with all of them? Is this the next WW3? Like, this is like some big stuff. Now, some people actually think that. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is we take it day by day here, and we are following every tip that we get. So please make sure to get on those alerts, because we are going to send things out the second it happens. U.S. pulls non-essential staff from Riyadh amid Mid-East tensions. Now, this is what I was saying. Now, some people got the thumbnail confused, and what they saw was all flights suspended. That was actually Venezuela. All flights are suspended to Venezuela. We're talking about passenger and cargo flights. This is the other part that is happening at the exact same time. Meanwhile, we have the USS Abraham Lincoln, which many say, in fact, our sources say, once it gets there, it's game on. So basically, we are pulling people out of Riyadh. We are canceling all flights to Venezuela. Something big is going on, and that's why I said by now you would almost have to be an idiot to think there's nothing going on behind the scenes. U.S. intel showed Iran-backed militias moving rockets in Riyadh. Now, check this out. It says in the current wrapping up of U.S. military posturing against Rylan was triggered by U.S. intelligence that showed Tehran-backed militias in Riyadh moving rockets to locations that could hit bases where American troops were positioned in the nation, according to sources familiar with the intelligence. T-Man administration officials have said that the Pentagon's bumping up the deployment last week of a U.S. aircraft carrier and bomber group to the region was justified by intelligence on threats of a potentially imminent, they use the word imminent, attack by Rylan on U.S. interests in Riyadh, but have provided no specific details publicly. Now, of course, they did not publicly display these things. These things are all either going on behind the scenes or they don't exist. There's Rylan vows to defeat American Zionists alliance, which, by the way, that word, if you call in, please, that Z word is now a filtered word. They don't want people saying that. Now, of course, I try to say whatever we can and get creative. That's all we got to do. We have to have a code. We're saying that word, but we're not saying that word, if you know what I mean. We are also going to put things like that in our alerts. It says they vow to defeat American Z alliance as Putin warns U.S. pressure against U.S. pressure. So also Russia is backing these guys up. And they said even more than ever, we have military sources saying that Putin is in every picture. Like, this is literally us against Rylan and at least Russia. It says Rylan will defeat the American and Israeli alliance, Rylan's Minister of Defense Amir Hatami said on Wednesday. So this isn't some sort of intern saying we're going to defeat us. It's the Minister of Defense, the guy in charge. Hello, you are live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on?
Hey, Adam, it's Dex.
Oh, okay. All right, so we've got some information. This is kind of special. I didn't know if we could get Raymond on, so I guess you're going to tell us the information that we got, right?
Absolutely. So we got a lot of great information from sources today, and I wanted to go over them with you.
Okay, so I guess first explain, I guess, do we need to give some people some credit or not give people credit?
I definitely want to keep a lot of the names out, but I will give Rip Curl some credit because I've been working with him to cross-reference a lot of this information, and he's been pretty critical in it. But we've got a lot of movement going on, and all over the place, and I think it coincides with a lot of the mainstream articles we've already discussed. So, in particular, a lot of the words we're getting from inside sources are the same thing: get your gas, get your water, get supplies, get prepped, make sure you're ready. I think you mentioned earlier, once Abe Lincoln gets to its final destination, that's when things are going to get going. And that, I think that was sort of the overall message I'm hearing. Specifically, though, what we've seen with movements, there's been 2 massive trains loaded down with generators and rigs and lighting rigs, all moving east. I don't have an actual location on that. I don't want to give that out. But there are also multiple reportings of helos, helicopters, all again in the general sense we've seen them spotted heading east in different directions. But here's an interesting story. We had one of 2 large troop carriers, and this actually was in Ellington Field in Texas, South Texas. 2 different large troop carriers that landed for a short time and then took off again, headed east. They were actually followed, and I guess they're probably escorted with 6 different jets, either F-35s or F-18s, again, all headed east. There's been B-1 bombers flying in South Dakota, again, mostly flying east. And I think that's the gist of it. And then you go back to like a lot of the stories that you talked about today. The evacuations in Riyadh and the things that are happening in Venezuela, as well as recent power outages in Venezuela. And also Germany, Netherlands canceled exercises today due to U.S. actions in the I country. So a lot of things going on. Again, I want to be really quick because I want to get on to other callers, but I did want to get this information out. I thought it was really important. ExxonMobil has evacuated their personnel from Riyadh. And I just heard moments ago that there's been 3 SkyKing messages today.
What? Okay, so I was actually unaware of that. You didn't even tell me that before we started. Well, thank you, Dex. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
No, I'll leave it at that. I want to get on to the callers and let them in on the show. But yeah, I think the big theme I heard was a lot of eastward movement, and that should be somewhat telling. We should pay attention. We've heard the east come up a few times, whether it's Indiana and other places. So, yeah.
All right. Well, perfect. Hello, you are live on Marfoogle TV. Rip Curl.
Hey, Adam, how you doing? Hey, I know it's the end of the show, and I just wanted to add a quick little couple somethings. One thing, I just want to tell everybody how important they are to all the hard work that you guys all do, and just wanted them to know just how important it is, because there's so much going on right now that it really does lead us to directions to go to dig for more with a lot of the connections we have. So I just can't tell you how important that is. And how it's led us to some really amazing stuff. I think that's the reason why this show is so big today. I also wanted to fill you in, too, that about the time Dex, I wasn't able to come on, and he shared that stuff. I was watching the show, and it started buffering really heavy, and then my screen went to the dim phase where it says live stream offline. And I had to actually get logged back on. And it was Dex, too, that was talking. So, he's real careful with what he says. But they just keep adding more stuff. I was blown away with the size of the list. So, yes, that is important that everybody really think about and be creative what they're saying. Because we want to get the truth out there, but they're listening with it. I mean, because the thing is this wasn't your computer overheating. Because when I got relogged back in, you were still up and running. So... And I wanted to add, too, besides that, I wanted to let you know, I know that Dex had touched base really quick on the we'll call them Sky Queen messages, just in case. And there were 3 of them that did come through. The interesting thing I got to looking into those a little bit more after passing along to Dex was when they came in. When they came in, it was basically right before the show started or right as the show started. And the dates on them were reading the 16th of May. and it wasn't even the 16th of May yet. And the first one read at 03:34, so 3:30 in the morning, 3:45 in the morning, and 3:50 in the morning. That would put those messages after, especially we were talking with Dex, we figured that puts those messages right about in the middle eastern area overseas, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. So, we all know the origin of those kind of messages, and now we know the area that those had to have been coming through. So that's something interesting for people to think about. Well, and so just to explain, Rip Curl has his information has led to some of the some of the best information we've actually gotten. Rip Curl has been a great resource for the channel. We never even blink twice about giving him credit for some of this stuff. Like Rip Curl is absolutely amazing when it comes to this information, and we have been on the dot when we use his info. So thank you.
Did you talk about the I know you talked about troops and stuff and the movement and what was going over in the last couple of shows, but did you talk about the National Guard troops that were going over?
Yes, try to be careful with that too.
Sorry.
Yes, you can say whatever you would like. If you would like to explain that to him, we've done videos and stuff, but not on that. Of course, them saying get prepped and stuff. So go ahead and tell us.
Well, I just didn't know how into detail you went with that, but there's quite a bit of NG forces going and being shipped overseas, which is, not unusual, say, but this is an awful lot. And I don't know if you want me to, say where they're going or not. But
yes, say.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the main NG is going to Poland. North Carolina NG, largest deployment they've ever had, is going to Kuwait. Wyoming NG is going to the Middle East. The Alaska NG is going to KCV. Bangor, Maine NG is going to the Pole land of Poles. And this one really kind of got me.
This sounds like WW3.
Yeah, and the Coast Guard, which is meant for, guarding our coast. The coasties have been pushed down deeper into the Pacific theater, is what they call it, which is basically just down south in the Pacific Ocean. And the coasties also have been shipped heavy over to Africa. And there are some coastie ships in China, you know what I mean? So I just thought that was really unusual because it kind of leaves us I know we have quite a bit in the grand scheme of things, troop-wise, but that's a heavy, what I consider national forces being sent over. Right. And then the only reason that we bring things like this up is so that we know what's going on and where maybe we need to help out, because if those people are distracted elsewhere, we have a lot of things here at home like floods and dams and weather and things like that of people that need help, which is normally where those people help. So maybe we need to be involved in that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no, I agree with you. And in all seriousness, this is it's looking like we are spreading out our forces all over the world. So, well, thank you, Raymond Rip Curl. Always look forward to talking to you, and I appreciate you. Okay.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate the family. Much love to you guys all, and I'll be talking to you in Discord.
All right, Rip Curl out. Marv out. Wait, I'm Marv. All right, bye.
You want to know what's going on? What's really going on when it happens? Go to marfooglenews.com and get Marfoogle alerts along with a Discord invitation where you can find your local state group and get together with the Foogle Fam. You'll find fast friends where you'll share prep and intel, and there's even special groups for former and current military. But don't try and steal the valor of those who have really served. It won't go well for you. The Marfoogle Fam is waiting for you.